Hello everyone, welcome to Fundamentals Learner YouTube channel. Hope you have all watched Linear Algebra Part 1. This video is Linear Algebra Part 2, in which we will cover rank of the matrix and system of linear equations. Let's move into the video. Rank of the matrix. Before getting to know what is rank of the matrix, we need to know what is submatrix and minor of a matrix. Submatrix is nothing but it is obtained by deleting some rows, some of the rows and some of the columns or both. Okay, that is a submatrix. And minor is the determinant of the minor is nothing but determinant of the submatrix, and it should definitely be of a square submatrix. For finding minor, it should be a square submatrix, and for a submatrix it can be either a square, it can either be a square matrix or need not be. Okay, and then rank of the matrix is nothing but, see, let A be a matrix of order m cross n, and R is said to be the rank of A if every R plus 1th order minor of A is 0 and there exists at least one orth order minor of A which is not 0. Okay, that is rank of A is the order of largest order of non-zero minor of A. Okay, let me explain you with a numerical example. Like we have a 4 cross 3 matrix here in this example. Okay, what they are given is what we have seen here. Every R plus 1th order minor of A is 0. Okay, R plus 1th, say if this is that is 3 cross 3 matrix is not 0. Okay, 3 cross 3 matrix is a 0, means then 4 cross 4 matrix, 4 cross 4 minor of this matrix should definitely be 0 in however order you take it, and also all at least 1 2 cross 2 minor of this should be a non-zero. Then that is then the rank of this is equal to which is the largest order of non-zero minor. Okay, clear? Next we will see some of the results regarding to the rank of the matrix. Okay, rank, hope you are all clear with rank of the matrix. That is the largest order of the non-zero minor of a minor of a matrix. Okay, so coming to the null, if you have null matrix, that is simply we can tell that rank of a matrix is rank of a matrix is given by number of non-zero rows. Okay, in other words, it is given by number of non-zero rows. Okay, a zero row is nothing but where all the elements of your row is 0. Not even a single element should be a non-zero. All the element of the row should be 0. Okay, that is the zero row. And how many non-zero rows are there in the matrix after being reduced to it is the rank of the matrix. So for null matrix, each and every element of the matrix is 0. Okay, so the rank is always 0. And for unit matrix, what will be the rank? Definitely it will be having all one that is entry of 1 in each and every row, right? So there can't be a non-zero row. So what is it is the number of identity matrix is nothing but the order of the unit matrix. Say if it is a 2 cross 2 matrix, means then the rank is 2. For a 3 cross 3 unit matrix, the rank is 3. Okay, next rank of a matrix is unique. Okay, and each and every matrix has its rank. Fine. And if you have a rectangular matrix, say m cross n, not a square matrix, if you have a rectangular matrix, then what is the minimum, that is what is the maximum rank the matrix can have is, it should be the minimum of m comma n. That is, if you have a 4 cross 3 matrix, if the matrix is of order 4 cross 3, then rank will be less than or equal to 3. What is the minimum of 4 comma 3? 3 is the minimum, right? So the rank will at least, that is maximum, it can be 3 or it can be 2 or 1. Okay, and if it is 3 cross 5, okay, or it okay, so here what you can say, here also the rank can be less than or equal to 3. It can be either 3, 2 or 1 depending upon the matrix, but it cannot be greater than 3. Then for a square matrix n cross n, for a square matrix of n cross n, if it is equal to n means, that is for a 3 cross 3 matrix, if the rank is equal to 3 means, then that matrix is definitely a non-singular matrix, that is its determinant is not equal to 0, or in other words, if you find that the determinant is not equal to 0, you can blindly tell that the rank of the matrix is equal to its order. And similarly, if the rank is equal to, if the determinant is equal to 0, that is if it is a singular matrix, then definitely its rank cannot be equal to 3. It should be either less, it cannot be equal to the order, it should be definitely less than n. Okay, and rank of a matrix is equal to the rank of its transpose. We'll see some of the examples. See, find the rank of the matrix. What we have told first we have to see the matrix is of order 3 cross 4. So first we have to see what can be the maximum rank of the matrix, that is minimum of 4 comma 3, right? So it can be either equal to, less than, or equal to 3. So now we have to consider a submatrix for which minor can be obtained, right? For minor means we have to take a square submatrix, right? So we can take some 3 cross 3 matrix. I have chosen this 3 cross 3 matrix. All right. So and by calculating, the determinant is coming as 24, which is not equal to 0. So it is having a 3 cross 3 matrix which is not vanishing, that is it is having some minor. The minor is non-zero. What by definition, what is the rank? It is the order of largest order of non-zero minor of A. For minor means it should definitely be a square submatrix. So the maximum is 3 cross 3. So the rank is 3. All right. And see, in this problem you just try to work it out. Okay, rank of A is equal to, in this so what you should do first, this is itself is a 3 cross 3 matrix. So find the determinant of the given matrix. Okay, and it is not equal to, it is coming as not equal to 0. So what we can conclude is it is equal to 3, that is the row of rank of A is equal to 3 by using this property number 4, where if it is equal to, since the determinant is not equal to 0, we can say that the rank is equal to 3, right? Okay, work it out by yourself. Okay, merely by watching videos. So for maths and all, practicing is very mandatory. All right. So merely by watching it cannot help you. Please kindly practice on your own. Next, and another technique for finding a rank of the matrix is by reducing it to echelon form. What is this echelon form? That is, it should be of this form, right? I'll tell you. So see, what are all the conditions that the echelon form should have is 0 rows, if any, or below any non-zero rows. See, if there are any 0 rows, it should be at the last, right? See, okay, if you have all 0 rows, that is all the entries of the row is 0 means, then it should be at the last. And the number of zeros before the first non-zero element in a row is less than or equal to the number of such zeros in the next row. See, in this example, in the second row, this is the first non-zero element of the second row, right? This is the first non-zero element of the second row, and this is the first non-zero element of the third row. What see the 0? It has 1 0, and it see, the second row has 1 0 and third row has 2 zeros. That is, it has 2 0 means it is less. It is less than, either it should be less or it should have 2. Okay, it should not be greater than 3. If so, you can change these 2 rows. Okay, and row echelon form needs row transformations. Okay, row transformations, like we'll be seeing in the upcoming problems. And remember that the A1, that is the first row, first column element, is always denoted as pivot element. Okay, we'll see in the problems how can we apply, how can we do how can we achieve echelon form. And these are all some of the gate problems I have taken and solved for your sake. Given rank of a m cross n matrix, where m is less than n, it cannot be more than, see, m is less than n. Okay, so which one is less? M. So definitely rank of A should be either equal to, less than, or equal to m. since m is the minimum of m comma n. And so rank cannot be more than what? M. This is one of the gave problem. Very simple, right? Next, rank of the given matrix. We have to find the rank of this given matrix. Now we'll apply row echelon form. How we should do the row transformations, like elementary transformations in row? You can do either in the column also. Okay, if you are convenient with doing columns, you can apply that too. So here I am using row elementary transformations in rows. See, always concentrate on making first element of R2 and R, that is row 2 and row 3 as 0. How can you do that? Actually, usually do not disturb R1. See to that pivot element is always, the pivot element is always 1. Okay, if it is not 1 means try making it 1, either by exchanging. You can exchange the 2 rows, or you can exchange 2 columns. Okay, and you can do some arithmetic operations in order to achieve the required echelon form. See, in this matrix, it is 1, all are all 1. So you can first make R2, first element of R2 and first element of R3 as 0. What can we do? Simply, it is R2 minus, and you cannot just do that element alone. Remember, if you are applying an operation, you should apply it to all the elements of that row. Okay, do not make mistake by just doing that to the first element alone, then that will become meaningless. Okay, then that is R2 is changed to R2 minus R1. So what is this? Here, see here, R1 minus 1 is 0. Minus 1 is minus 2. 0 minus 1 is minus 1. Again, similarly, apply R3 minus R1. R3 is transformed to R3 minus R1. Okay, 1 minus 1 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. Now we have, and you should always ensure that R3 has a 0 which is greater than R2. The number of zeros in R3 should always be greater than number of zeros in R2. Alright. So here naturally it has become all 0 row. That is, it has become a 0 row. And so what? How many non-zero rows we have now in our matrix now? It is 2. So the rank is nothing but number of non-zero rows, which is equal to 2. Okay. Next, we will find rank for this matrix by row echelon transformation. Here what we have to do is, you have 4 rows, right? Then R4 you operate on, already this R2 has zeros. Okay, already this R2 has already 0, so do not disturb it. If the pivot element is 1, so do not disturb that first row also. You concentrate on R3 and R4. R3 is, what can we do to make R3 first element is 0? It is 4, right? So 4 minus 4 into R1. See, if you are multiplying 4 means, do not just multiply with the first element alone. We will be making this mistake naturally. So you multiply all the elements of the row with the 4. Okay, 4 minus 4 is equal to 0. So 2 minus 4 into 4 is 16. 2 minus 16 is minus 14. And do not make, please don't make mistake in sign also. And 3, or you can do minus R3 plus 4R1 also. It is your choice, right? You are free to do that, but make it sensible. 3 minus 8 into 4 is 32. So minus 29. And 1 into 7 into 4 is 1 minus 7 into 4 is minus 27. Similarly, R4. See, 3 minus 3 times R4 minus 3R1. So 3 minus 3 times R1. Okay. 3 minus 3 is, first element will obviously become 0. First element will obviously become 0. And second element, 12 minus 4 into 3 is 12. 12 minus 12 is 0. 24 minus 8 into 4 is, 8 into 3 is 24, 0. 2 minus 7 into 3 is 21. 2 minus 21 is minus 19. Okay. So see, here 1 0, and here we have 2 zeros. Here we have 3 zeros. See, we can make a smart move now, right? If you just transfer this R2 and R3, right? R2 and R3, if you just transfer, we can easily achieve row echelon form. And always remember, if you need to work out further, Okay, if you need to work out further, you should not, that is, after this transformation, after this stage, you should not disturb this first two zeros. Make sure that you should not disturb this first two zeros. So you should always, if you want to have, make this also 0, if it is possible, if you want to make this element also 0, then you just, you have to just work with either R3 or R2. Okay, because if you operate anything within zeros, then it will not be disturbed. This 0 will not get disturbed. Otherwise, if you just make any arithmetic operation with the first row means, then this 0 will get disturbed. Then we will not end up with the row echelon form. Okay, this is a caution. Now, if we are just transferring this R2 and R2 and R3. R2 and R3 we are just exchanging. Okay, we are just exchanging R2 and R3. Now see 0, 00 and 000. Okay, but there is no non-zero rows. But there is no zero rows. All are non-zero rows. What is the number of non-zero row here? 4. So the rank is 4. So the rank is 4, right? This is one of the interesting problem, right? But very simple. It may look somewhat complex, but it is actually very simple. See, it is given as a generalized expression. In the matrix is given as generalized expression. So 1a square etc. up to a power n. Here 1a square etc. up to a power n. Up to it is extended up to 1a square etc. up to a power n. The order of the matrix is n plus 1 cross n plus 1. It is a square matrix. Okay. So where a is a real number. So what is the rank of this matrix? See, very simple, right? How many rows it can be, and you can make all the rows, all these rows as a 0 row just by simply subtracting the corresponding row with R1, right? So only the first row will be a non-zero row and all the other rows will be zeros. So what remains is only first row as non-zero row. So non-zero row, number of non-zero row is 1. Okay, these are all gate problems. Next, we'll move to the system of linear equations. Okay, system of linear equations. We are just going to solve system of linear equation using matrices. Okay, see, as of now we can just merely solve in hand or manually or using calculator up to third order equations. Okay, right. But in this method we are going to see how can we solve it using matrix and also using using the rank. We have seen before, right? Echelon form of the rank and all we'll apply here to find out the solution of the linear equations. See, linear equation is represented, that is a11 x1 plus a12 x2 etc. up to a1n xn equal to b1. See, this is the linear equations. This is n number of linear equations, that is m equation and n unknowns. This is a system of m linear equation with the n unknowns. And how can we write it in matrix form? A into x is equal to b, where A matrix is nothing but the coefficients of the equations. And the x is nothing but the unknowns, right? X is nothing but the unknowns and B matrix is nothing but the right hand side of the equations. Okay, clear? Ax equal to B. And this Ax equal to B is non-homogeneous system. Ax equal to B is non-homogeneous system, and there is another type of system called homogeneous system where Ax equal to 0. See, if this B are all 0, 0, 0, etc. 0 means then the system becomes homogeneous system. Alright, we will see how to solve these two types of systems separately. And what is the solution? The set of values, that is x1, x2, etc. to xn. See, finding the x1, x2, etc. to xn values is the solution of the given linear equation. See, simple, right? If we are given two algebraic equation means or algebraic equation, what will find x1, x2 or xy like that, right? So simple. x1, x2, etc. to xn is nothing but the solution. Then consistent. What is meant by consistent means, see, what if the system has at least one solution, It should have at least one solution. Then it is consistent, and then the system is consistent. And a consistent system can be categorized as determinate and indeterminate. That is, if it has a unique solution, then the system is determinate. And if it has infinitely many solution or more than one solution, it is indeterminate. Alright, and inconsistent. That is, if the system doesn't have any solution, means if the system doesn't has any solution, then the system is inconsistent. Okay, and also know about what is augmented matrix, right? We have seen Ax equal to b, right? We have seen how to write the system of linear equation in matrix format Ax equal to b. And what is augment matrix is nothing but AB. You have to just club the A matrix and B matrix. Alright. See, we have taken an example. This is a system of linear equation. I have written the A matrix. That is, what are all the coefficients? What are the coefficients of x1, x2, x1, 1, 1? This is 2, 5, minus 2. Okay. And 1, 7, minus 1. Okay. Into x1, x2, x3 equal to 4, 3 and 6. So this is A matrix and this is B matrix. Just have to club together and write it as the single matrix. Then that is the augmented matrix. Okay, augmented is nothing but clubbing together, right? Next, we'll see that is methods of solving Ax equal to b. That is various conditions. Okay, various conditions. That is whether the system is consistent, it is having a unique solution or many solution, or whether the system itself is an inconsistent system. Okay, we'll see based on the condition. That is, we'll decide whether the system is consistent or inconsistent based on the rank of the matrix A and the rank of the augmented matrix AB. Okay, first, what is non-homogeneous system? We know that it is Ax equal to b. And the system is consistent if the row of A equal to row of AB. Alright, if row of A equal to row of AB only means then the system is consistent. If row of A is not equal to row of AB, that is A matrix, rank of matrix A is not equal to rank of augmented matrix, then the system becomes inconsistent. Okay, then if here we have another two conditions, that is whether it has a unique solution. Consistent, okay, whether it has a unique solution or infinitely many solution. That is, we have seen right, determinant or indeterminate. So if it has a unique solution, means then the rank of A is equal to rank of AB, augmented matrix. And if it is equal to number of unknowns, then it has unique solution. If the rank is less than number of unknowns, means then it has infinitely many solution. And we will see how to solve the how to solve whether it has infinitely many solution. Next, and n is the number of variables, r is the rank. Okay, and also we have to note down a point that in case of if we have infinitely many solution, means then the number of linearly independent solution is equal to n minus r. Okay, where n is the number of unknown and r is the rank. Like suppose if there are three variables and rank we are getting as 2. So r is less than n. Okay, so how many number of linearly independent solution is there? Means 3 minus 2, 1 linearly independent solution for the system we have. Okay, we'll see some of the problems based on this. So solve the equations. They have given the equations. So first, what you have to do is first you have to write Ax equal to, in the format Ax equal to b, that is in the matrix form. So the coefficients of the equations x, y and z, 1, 1, 1. So first row 1, 1, 1, and second row 2, 5, 7, 2, 5, 7. Third row 2, 1 minus 1. Okay, into x, y, z is equal to 9, 52, 0. Alright, now we have to club A matrix and B matrix and write augmented matrix AB. So 1, 1, 1, 9, 2, 5, 7, 52, 2, 1, 1, 0. So we have to, what we have to do? So we have to find rank of, if we find the rank of AB, we will get a rank of A and also AB, because the rank, that is the matrix A is within, the matrix A is within AB, right? So we can, if we find the rank of this matrix, we will be able to find A also. So now reducing it to row echelon form. What we have to do is, see, you have for the pivot element is 1. So we can, what we can do, we can make first element of R2 0 and first element of R3 0. So 2 minus 2 into R1 and 2 minus R3 means 2 minus 2 into R1 the same. Okay, we'll apply that arithmetic operation. See, R2 is R2 minus 2 R1, R3 is R3 minus 2 R1. So this becomes 0 and the that is 5 minus 2 is 3. Okay, and similarly we'll be getting other two elements, and also similarly this is 52 minus 927, this is 34. Also 0 minus 18, which is minus 18 here. Next, now we have to make this element as 0. So what I have told you, we have to operate within these two rows only. If we are operating with now if you are operating with R1, then this 0 gets disturbed, right? So we have to operate within these two rows. That is, first thing, I want to make this element as 0 in the next step. What can we do with that is 3 times, that is multiply R3 with 3 and then add with, because the sign is different, and then we can add it with R2. So 3R3 plus R2. Now transformed matrices. So minus 3 plus 3 is 0. This is 3. Minus 9 plus 5 is minus 4. Minus 18, or sorry, minus 18 into 3 plus 34 is minus 20. Okay, yes. So still after this we cannot reduce to further matrix. So this is the last stage, and it all, and you can note that it is in the row echelon form. All right. Next what we have to see is what is the rank of A, what is the rank of A and what is rank of AB. See, on the whole, if you see, this is rank of AB. What is the number of non-zero rows here? It is number of non-zero rows is 3 for AB, right? So rank of the augment matrix is equal to 3, and the rank of matrix A, what it is, the shaded, red shaded portion, rank of matrix A, this is also 3. So rank of, that's why the rank of AB equal to rank of A, which is equal to 3. And what is the number of unknowns? 3. So obviously it is consistent. That is, first thing we got row of AB equal to row of A, then obviously it is consistent, and also it is equal to n, so it will be having a unique solution. And how should we find the solution now? Now let's write, like we have to split it and write in the form, okay, Ax equal to B form again. Now this is A matrix, right? So 1 1 1 0 3 5 0 0 minus 4 x y z equal to 9 3 9 34 minus 20. And from the last, if you write, means minus 4 is equal to minus 20. Hence we can find z equal to 5. Okay, and 3y plus 5z equal to 34. On solving, we will be getting y equal to 3. And substituting y and z in first equation, we will be getting x. So the solution is 1, 3 and 5. Is it clear? Next, we'll see another example. Okay, the system of equations are given, and you have to write it in Ax equal to B form. Here x2 is not given, so you have to use 0. So, and next step is writing the augmented matrix. And augmented matrix, after writing the augmented matrix, see, this is the pivot element is 1, and 1 minus, see, all these are all 1, just R2 minus R1 and R3 minus R1. So these two will become 0. Next, this is minus 2, this is minus 1. So R3 minus 2R1. Next, so this has become 0, but this element has not become 0. Now if you observe, the A matrix, what is the rank of A matrix? Row of A equal to 2, right? But on the whole, what is the row of AB? On the whole, what is the row of AB? It is equal to 3, right? So row of AB is not equal to row of A. It is inconsistent. Inconsistent means definitely it don't have any solution. Okay. So next we will move to the solution for homogeneous system. So far we have seen solution for non-homogeneous system. Now we are seeing solution for homogeneous system. Here also we have similar conditions like Ax equal to 0 means, so m is number of equation and n is number of unknowns. If m is equal to n, okay, if m is equal to n means, then we have to see what is row of A, that is if whether row of A is equal to, here we don't have augmented matrix, okay, because B is all 0. So we have to find the solution by operating only with the matrix A. So if row of A equal to n means, then it has only trivial solution. If row of A is less than n means, then infinitely many non-trivial solution. I'll tell you what is trivial and non-trivial solution. And then if m is not equal to n, that is if you have more number of equations, that is 4 equations and 3 unknowns, or 3 equations, 4 unknowns. Alright, so in both these cases m is not equal to n. Here 3 equation, 3 unknown. Example I am telling. Alright, so if m is not equal to n means, then under that how, that is here m is greater than n, that is number of equation is here m is, this is m is greater than n, that is the first case here. So if m is greater than n means, first case we will see m is less than n. This is m is less than n, correct? Here m is less than n. It means obviously we will be having infinitely many non-trivial solution. And if m is greater than n means, then we have to see further 2 conditions, that is if row of A equal to n, okay, if row of A equal to n means only trivial solution, and if row of A is less than n means infinitely many non-trivial solution. See, that is you have 3 unknowns but you are given 4 equations, so it will not affect your finding the 3 unknowns, okay, you can take any 3 equations and you can solve, merely I am telling. But if you have less than, that is 3 equations but you want to find 4 unknowns, then definitely it will be having infinitely many non-trivial solution. Okay, also we will see what is trivial. Trivial solution means the solution all x is equal to 0, 0, 0 for that is all the values of x are 0, that is the trivial solution. Trivial means insignificant, okay, and non-trivial solution means it is a non-zero value, it is a non-zero values of x1, x2, x3 etc. up to xn, that is non-trivial solution. Okay, clear? Also similarly, what is nullity means, it is nothing but number of linearly independent solution which is given by n minus r, where n is number of unknowns and r is the rank of matrix A. Okay, and what is r here? Rank plus nullity. Rank plus nullity is equal to n, that is n minus r plus r is equal to n. So we will see some of the problems. Solve these equations. Okay, here what you have given, m is equal to n, that is m is equal to n, then first case 3 equations and 3 unknowns. Alright, then A, you have to write it in the matrix form Ax equal to B. Now in this, for homogeneous we need not do augmented matrix, just we have to operate with the A matrix alone. So see, pivot element is 1, so R2 means R2 minus 2R1 to make this first element 0 and the other will go along, and R3 minus R1 will do with it. Next, then for R3, next for R3, R3 minus 2R2, okay, then it has become 0, 0, 0. Now what, that is rank of A is equal to what? It is equal to 2, which is less than 3, which is less than number of unknowns. So obviously if R is less than n means, then infinitely many solution. So write the equation, that is minus 7y plus 8z equal to 0 and x plus 3y minus 2z equal to 0. So now what you have to do is, we have infinitely many solution, right? See, this type of problem for both homogeneous as well as non-homogeneous, if you get infinitely many solution means, then you have to assume any one variable to be a arbitrary value, say k. Arbitrary values means some random values k. So if you put z equal to k, then you have to find y also in terms of k, and then you have to find x also. So everything in terms of that k. So that as k varies, you will be the solution will be varying. Hence only it is we are telling that it has infinitely many solutions, because k can vary from minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, it is a real number, so it can be varied from minus infinity to plus infinity. And in some cases we'll be having some constraint, like if k is in some denominator and all, then we cannot put a k is not equal, that is k is equal to 0, then the solution will become infinity, right? So avoiding, in some cases there will be some restriction, otherwise k varies from minus infinity to plus infinity. Hence we are telling that it has infinitely many solution. Clear? So now in this problem we will be assuming z equal to k. Then on solving this equation, y will be written in terms of 8 by 7k, and if you put y and z in terms of k, we will be getting x as minus 10k by 7. So what is the solution here? What's the solution here? Minus 10k by 7, 8k by 7, k. And taking k by 7 outside, you can write minus 10, 8, 7. So as k varies, the solution is also going to vary. Okay, that's why we are telling it as that it has infinitely many solution. Also, we can find for these type of problems what is the number of independent solution, or nothing but a nullity simply. So what is the rank here? 2, and what is n is nothing but 3. So nullity is n minus r, which is equal to 1. So the number of independent solution it is having is 1. Okay. So with this I am completing the video. Thanks for watching, and kindly subscribe to our channel. If you have any doubt, kindly put it in the comment section. We are very eager to help you, and do continue watching the videos we are posting, and practice lot of problems, and share with your friends also. Thank you. Happy learning.
Okay.